Hello everyone, hope you all are fine. Let's begin a session with environment. First is Locust Attack. Whites in news, Pakistan and Somalia have declared locust emergencies. Major locust attacks have been observed in several countries in Western and Southern Asia and in Eastern Africa. The Food and Agriculture Organization FAO has currently identified 3 hotspots: the Horn of Africa, the Red Sea area, and Southwest Asia. Locusts are a group of short-horned grasshoppers that multiply in numbers as they migrate long distance. Right? In India, locust attack emanating from the desert area in Pakistan has struck parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat, causing heavy damage to standing crop. 4 species of locusts are found in India: desert locust, migratory locust, Bombay locust, and tree locust. The desert locust is regarded as the most destructive pest in India as well as internationally, with a small swarm covering 1 square kilometer being able to consume the same amount of food in one day as 35,000 people. Okay, next one is Seymour Island. Just go with this picture thoroughly. Okay. All right. Whites in news. Seymour Island is in the Antarctic Peninsula hits record temperature of 20.75 degrees centigrade. This latest reading was taken at a monitoring station on Seymour Island, part of a chain of islands of the same peninsula at the northernmost point of the continent. The continent also hit a record last week with a temperature reading of 18.3 degrees centigrade on the Antarctic Peninsula. According to the UN's World Meteorological Organization, that is WMO, temperatures on the Antarctic Peninsula have risen by almost 3 degrees centigrade over the past 50 years, and that about 87% of the glaciers along its west coast have retreated in that time. Over the past 12 years, the glaciers have shown an accelerated retreat. Okay? Because past 12 years, the glaciers have shown an accelerated retreat. Okay, all right. Next one is Kanha National Park and Tiger Reserve, that is KNPTR. White Sea News, hard-ground swamp deer, Barasingha or Rascarvus duacelli, the state animal of Madhya Pradesh, is seeing a revival in the Kanha National Park and Tiger Reserve, that is KNPTR, after being close to extinction for a long time. KNPTR is one of the Maikal range of the Satpura Hills in Madhya Pradesh. The deer was brought back from the verge of extinction with the help of successful breeding program and conservation practices at the KNPTR. Swamp deer are already extinct in Pakistan and Bangladesh. It is now found only in southwestern Nepal and central and northeastern India. There are 3 subspecies of swamp deer found in the Indian subcontinent. The western swamp deer is found in Nepal. Southern swamp deer is found in central and north India, and eastern swamp deer found in the Kaziranga and Duduwa national parks. Next one is United for Biodiversity Coalition. Okay. Whites in news, the European Commission EC has launched the United for Biodiversity Coalition. It was launched on World Wildlife Day 2020, 3rd March. The coalition is made up of zoos, aquariums, botanical gardens, national parks, and natural history and science museums from around the world. The coalition offers the opportunity for all such institutions to join forces and boost public awareness about the nature crisis. The coalition adopted a common pledge setting the Intergovernmental Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, IPBES, right? Global assessment finding that 1 million species were already at risk of extinction, and appeals to visitors to each of their institutions to raise their voice for nature. Next one is National Chambal Sanctuary. Okay, just go with this map thoroughly. All right. Whites in news, National Chambal Sanctuary has been declared as an eco-sensitive zone by the central government. The decision to declare the area as an eco-sensitive zone will prohibit the construction of hotels or resorts within an area of 0 to 2 kilometers from the sanctuary. National Chambal Sanctuary, also called the National Chambal Gharial Wildlife Sanctuary, is located on the Chambal River near the tri-point of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. It was first declared in Madhya Pradesh in 1978 and now constitutes a long, narrow eco-reserve co-administrated by the 3 states. The sanctuary based in the Chambal region is a host of a lot of critically endangered species. Alright. Gangetic dolphins, gharial and freshwater turtles are among the major species found in the region. More than 75% of the critically endangered gharial population is based in the sanctuary. Next one is tiger reserves and its location. Just go with this map thoroughly. Okay. Okay. Alright. Bhor Tiger Reserve (BTR) is the country's smallest tiger reserve and now faces a serious threat from road upgradation. T1 Tiger Mahavir and T2 Tiger Sundari were translocated from Madhya Pradesh to Satkosia Tiger Reserve (STR). Odisha under the project Augmentation and Recovery of Tiger Population in STR. Bandipur Tiger Reserve is located in Karnataka. Next one is human sources of methane. Okay, just go with this graph thoroughly. All right. Fossil fuel production, distribution and use 33%, livestock farming 27%, landfills and waste 16%, biomass burning 11%, rice agriculture 9%, biofuels 4%. All right. Next one is olive Ridley turtles. Okay, olive Ridley turtles is here only. Whites in news, in a rare sight after a gap of 7 years, mass nesting of olive Ridley turtles was witnessed during the daytime along the Rushikulya Rukiri coast in Odisha's Ganjam district. Usually, olive Ridleys prefer to nest in darkness. Sometime due to pressure of delivery time, they may be opting to nest at daytime. The name for this sea turtle is tied to the color of its shell and olive green hue. They are currently the most abundant of all sea turtles. Their vulnerable status comes from the fact that they nest in a very small number of places, and therefore any disturbance to even one nest beach could have huge repercussions on the entire population. Okay, sea turtles are a fundamental link in marine ecosystems and help maintain the health of coral reefs and seagrass beds. Each nest dug up by the turtles on an average contains around 100 eggs. All right. Next one is Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve, that is GOMBR, Gomber. Just go with this picture thoroughly. All right. The Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve, Gomber area is extending from Rameshwaram to Tuticorin. It comprises 21 islands and this is the first Indian Marine National Park which is internationally recognized under the UNESCO MAB program. The IUCN Commission on National Parks and WWF identified the reserve as an area of particular concern because of its richest biodiversity and multiple use of the area. The Gomber is the first marine biosphere in India. This is quite important. Next one is World Earth Day. Okay, what's in news? April 22 is World Earth Day, an international event celebrated around the world to pledge support for environmental protection. The year 2020 marks the 50th anniversary for the annual celebrations. This year's theme for Earth Day is climate action. In 2009, the United Nations designated April 22 as International Mother Earth Day. The landmark Paris Agreement, which brings almost 200 countries together in setting a common target to reduce global greenhouse emissions, was signed on Earth Day 2016. Earth Day aims to build the world's largest environmental movement to drive transformative change for people and the planet. The movement's mission is to diversify, educate, and activate the environmental movement worldwide. Next one is Anthurium. Okay, just go with this picture here. Whites in News, D. Vasini Bai, a woman innovator from Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, has developed 10 varieties of Anthurium, a flower with high market value by cross-pollination. Anthurium spp is a vast group of beautiful blooming plants available in a wide range of colors. The plants of the varieties are having high demand due to its use as indoor decorative plants. They are beautiful but also purify the surroundings air and remove harmful airborne chemicals like formaldehyde, ammonia, toluene, xylene, and algerines. Algerines. Due to its importance in removing toxic substances from the air, NASA has placed it in the list of air purifier plants. Next one is Green Wall of India. Okay, just go with this picture thoroughly mentioned here. Okay, here it is. Forest belt likely to run roughly from Porbandar to Panipat, covering entire Aravalli range and beyond. Green wall will act as barrier for dust from west and check eastward march of Thar Desert. It will check desertification by restoring degraded land through massive afforestation. Project yet to get formal nod, details to be worked out. Alright, Whites in News, the center is mulling an ambitious plan to create a green wall on northwestern part of India. It will be a 1400 km long and 500 km wide green belt from Gujarat to the Delhi-Haryana border. On the lines of the Great Green Wall running through the wide width of Africa from Dakar to Djibouti to combat climate change and desertification. If approved, this may turn out to be a legacy program in India's efforts to deal with land degradation and the eastward march of the Thar Desert. Alright. India seeks to replicate the idea as a national priority under its goal to restore 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. The green belt may not be contiguous but would roughly cover the entire degraded Aravalli range through a massive afforestation exercise. Next one is Pontius Sanctus. Alright, Whites in News. Pontius Sanctus is a new freshwater fish which has been found recently in Velankanni, Tamil Nadu. Alright, the fish has been identified and named by the Department of Zoology, BGM, Government College in Kollam. The new fish has been deposited in the Geological Survey of India at Pune. It has also been registered with Zoo Bank of the International Commission of Zoological Nomenclature, the official authority for naming animals. Next one is dugongs. Okay, here is the picture here. Whites in News. World Dugong Day was celebrated recently on May 28, 2020. Dugongs are an endangered marine species and an important part of the marine ecosystem, and their depletion will have effects all the way of the food chain. Dugongs are mammals and they graze on seagrass, especially young shoots and roots in shallow coastal waters. They are protected in India under Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. There were just 250 dugongs in the Gulf of Mannar in Tamil Nadu, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and the Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat, according to the 2013 survey report of the Zoological Survey of India, ZSI. Hundreds of dugongs inhabited waters of the Odisha, West Bengal, and Andhra Pradesh coast 2 centuries back, but they are extinct in these areas now. Human activities such as the destruction and modification of habitat, pollution, rampant illegal fishing activities, vessel strikes, unsustainable hunting or poaching and unplanned tourism are the main threats to dugongs. The loss of seagrass beds due to ocean floor trawling was the most important factor behind dwindling dugong populations in many parts of the world. Okay, next one is desert locusts. All right. Whites in news. They normally live and breed in semi-arid or desert regions. For laying egg, they require bare ground, which is rarely found in areas with dense vegetation. So they can be breed in Rajasthan, but not in the Indo-Gangetic plains or Godavari and Kauri Delta. But green vegetation is required for hopper development. As individuals or in small isolated groups, locusts are not very dangerous. But when they grow into large populations, their behavior changes. They transform from solitary phase into gregarious phase and start forming swarms. A single swarm can contain 40 to 80 million adults in 1 square kilometer, and these can travel up to 150 kilometers a day. Large-scale breeding happens only when conditions turn very favorable in their natural habitat, desert or semi-arid regions. Good rains can sometimes generate just enough green vegetation that is conducive to egg laying as well as a hopper development. Alright, this is what seems to have happened this year. These locusts usually breed in the dry areas around Ethiopia, Somalia, Eritrea, along the eastern coast of Africa, a region known as the Horn of Africa. Other breeding grounds are the adjoining Asian regions in Yemen, Oman, southern Iran and Pakistan's Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provinces. Okay, many of these areas received unusually good rains in March and April, and that resulted in large-scale breeding and hopper development. These locusts started arriving in Rajasthan around the first fortnight of April, much ahead of the normal July-October normal. The Locust Warning Organization, a unit under the Agriculture Ministry, had spotted these and warned of their presence at Jaisalmer and Suratgarh in Rajasthan and Fazilka in Punjab near the India's Pakistan border. Alright. Subsequently, there has been arrival of several swarms for the breeding areas. Next one is India's first dolphin observatory. Whites in news. Bihar government is setting up India's first observatory for the dolphins in Bhagalpur district at the Vikramshila Gangetic Dolphin Sanctuary (VGDS). The structural design of the observatory is such that it will promote ecotourism. The observatory is being built on the Sultanganj Aguvani Ghat bridge over the Ganga. It will be in the middle of the river, where bridges width will be nearly 100 feet. The 4-story observatory will be 40 feet high, with the bridge passing through its middle. The observatory building will be transparent with glass from all sides to ensure people can watch the dolphins. It will give people an incentive to visit the place and see dolphins in the sanctuary without disturbing them. There would be no bad or adverse impact on the river's ecology, as the observatory is being constructed on a bridge over the Ganga. Okay, that's all for today's session. Hope you like our videos. Share our videos with your friends. Study well, revise well, stay home, stay safe. Thank you.